Ladies and gentlemen, gather round, because today we're talking about the man who got kicked out of Germany like expired bratwurst, only to become king of paella and treble parades in Barcelona, Hansi Flick. Yes, Hans-Dieter Flick, the man who once guided Germany to a 4-1 humiliation by Japan, just turned FC Barcelona into a trophy machine. Plot twist? He did it while casually eliminating Real Madrid like unpaid side characters in every Clásico. This isn't a redemption arc, it's a footballing exorcism. Let's unpack how the man once dubbed Germany's substitute teachers became Barca's tactical overlord. 1. The rise of Flick. From Mickenloch to Megabrain, Hansi Flick was born in the picturesque village of Mickenloch, a name that sounds like a Harry Potter spell but is actually just a German countryside where football dreams go to ferment. He played for Bayern Munich in the 80s, aka the era when mullets were tactics. He wasn't exactly a star, but he ran around a lot and followed instructions. Basically, he was the German James Milner before James Milner. Then he joined one. FC Köln and later FC Viktoria Baumental. Yes, that's a real club, not a typo. He retired at 35 with 5 goals and approximately 0 haters. Flick's playing style is tenacity, teamwork, and don't do anything fancy. He was that guy who gave 110%, while the real stars tried not to get injured. If football careers were starter Pokemon, Flick evolved from respectable midfielders into elite coaches while everyone else was still stuck at injured again FC. Mickenloch to the Camp Nou. That's not a career path, it's a Pixar movie waiting to happen. And let's be real, no scout ever looked at Hansi Flick and said, "This guy's the future of football." They probably said, "He seems polite." But behind that polite smile was a man silently taking notes, memorizing formations, and plotting a tactical revenge arc that would one day include turning Barcelona into a trophy-stacking machine. The man was basically football's quietest villain origin story. 2. Coaching career, from 5th division to football's final boss. Flick began as a player coach at Viktoria Baumental. Translation: he coached a bunch of semi-professionals while still doing slide tackles and washing his own jersey. Then came Hoffenheim, where he dragged the club from beer league football to the 3rd tier. Financial issues forced him out, but hey, legacy secured. After a brief Austrian vacation at Red Bull Salzburg as assistant coach, yes, under Trapattoni and Mateus, imagine that locker room. Flick finally entered the big leagues. Only in football do you go from managing amateurs with day jobs to assisting World Cup winning coaches. It's like going from local theater to starring in Avengers Tactics War. Flick's assistant journey is basically football's version of working your way up from barista to CEO, with the added stress of 80,000 fans yelling every weekend. And let's be honest, if you've survived managing at Hoffenheim with no money, you can survive anything. Even the German national team. His early coaching career was so humble, Netflix didn't even bother making a documentary yet. Picture this, a part-time coach, part-time midfielder, part-time equipment guy, probably fixing the team van on weekends. While Pep Guardiola was busy inventing false nines, Flick was inventing a full squad using whatever players were free after their day jobs. It was football's version of building IKEA furniture without the manual, and he still made it stand. 3. Germany. The peak, the fall, and the very public firing. From 2006 to 2014, Flick was Joachim Löw's right-hand man. He helped design the system that crushed Brazil 7-1. That's not a victory. That's psychological warfare. But fast forward to 2022, and suddenly Germany can't survive a World Cup group with Japan and Costa Rica. That's not a fall from grace. It's a cannonball dive into mediocrity. Flick became the first German coach to be sacked since 1928. That's right, 1928. The last guy who got fired was probably coaching in Lederhosen. Going from winning the World Cup to losing 4-1 to Japan is like going from Michelin chef to burning instant noodles. Flick's downfall with Germany had all the drama of a Netflix docuseries. From world champion to jaw, we're out. German fans were so done, even their apology letters had bullet points and statistical charts. Honestly, it wasn't tactics, it was trauma. You could see it in Flick's eyes. The look of a man realizing Joshua Kimmich isn't 8 people. And when the DFB finally fired him, he probably responded with "Danke. I also don't want to watch this team anymore." By the end, Germany under Flick looked like a corporate team-building exercise gone wrong, Everyone had roles, nobody had results, and the only thing pressing was the panic. Watching them defend was like watching IKEA furniture assemble itself backwards. And when Japan dunked on them again in 2023, it was less of a match and more of a PowerPoint presentation on why Flick needed a vacation and a fresh LinkedIn update. 4. Bayern Munich, where the legend was forged and then fractured. Flick took over Bayern Munich in 2019 after Niko Kovac got metaphorically punted into the sun. Everyone expected damage control. Instead, Flick turned Bayern into Death Star FC. He won a sextuple. That's 6 trophies in one season. Most managers can't even win the dressing room. Oh, and let's not forget, he beat Barcelona 8-2 in the Champions League. That's not a scoreline. That's a war crime. Flick at Bayern had one strategy: score relentlessly and ask questions later. Thomas Müller went from bench warmer to football savant. Kimmich became a cyborg. Lewandowski turned into a striker so lethal, FIFA had to nerf him. But alas, every fairy tale has a villain. Enter Hasan Salihamidzic. Transfer drama, tactical beef, and Flick piecing out with an 86-win resume and a mic drop. He left Bayern with a 77.94% win rate. Basically, he won so often the DFB called him like, "Hey, want to ruin your life again?" His Bayern team didn't just win, they steamrolled. The Bundesliga looked like a group project where only Flick did the work. Meanwhile, opposing managers were out here trying to stop his 4-2-3-1 with vibes, superstition, and handwritten prayers. And yet it all ended in classic Bayern fashion: boardroom drama, ego battles, and one man walking out with trophies in one hand and unresolved tension in the other. 5. The Barcelona era, banter club no more. In 2024, FC Barcelona had just come off a trophyless season, and vibes worse than a group chat after a breakup. Enter Hansi Flick, the man who was sacked by Germany and somehow looked at Barca's chaos and said, "Yes, this is fine." Fast forward 12 months, and he's holding 3 trophies like he found cheat codes. He beat Real Madrid in all 4 Clásicos. That's not domination, that's spiritual cleansing. Flick didn't just revive Barca, he exorcised the ghost of Koeman's whiteboard and Xavi's optimism. 47 goals from Lewandowski, 155 total team goals, and La Masia kids running wild like it's a talent show for future Ballon d'Or winners. Barcelona fans went from "we're broken" to "Viva Flickball" in one season. He won a domestic treble and still somehow lost to Inter Milan 7-6 in the Champions League semis, because of course, no one gets everything. This is football, not therapy. If you told Barca fans in 2023 that they'd win everything except the Champions League, they'd say deal. If you told them Flick would do it, they'd say, "Who? Now?" They say Father Flick. Under Flick, Barcelona played with so much attacking confidence you'd think they were legally obligated to score 3 goals per match. Even the ghost of 8-2 couldn't haunt them anymore. Suddenly, Camp Nou had swagger again. It was like your ex getting a glow-up, a new job, and a revenge body. Only this time, the revenge involved dismantling Madrid every other month. 6. Tactical philosophy. The Flicktionary of football. Flick is the footballing equivalent of a mad scientist in a lab. His go-to formula? High press 4-2-3-1 with verticality, wide overloads, and attack like your rent is due. Inspired by Klopp's energy and Pep's perfectionism, he blends chaos and control like a tactical smoothie. At Barcelona, he turned set pieces into death traps. 15 corner goals. 15. That's witchcraft. Flickball is basically press like your house is on fire, score before the defenders remember they exist, and make the opposition doubt their life choices. He took Ferran Torres from emoji to actual footballer. And he made Gavi, Pedri and Yamal look like they were engineered in a lab underneath La Masia. And unlike at Germany, Flick did adapt here. Because let's face it, when your budget includes spare change and good vibes, you have to improvise. He's intense but calm, like a yoga instructor who shouts in German. Opposing managers prepping to face Flick's system probably spend their nights watching film like it's a horror movie. Low lighting, sweaty palms, and someone yelling, "They're pressing again." His tactics are so relentless, it's less of a football match and more of a 3-act thriller, featuring early dominance, midfield violence, and a set-piece twist ending. The only safe place on the pitch, the bench. 7. The redemption of Hansi Flick. From the village of Mückenloch to the Camp Nou throne, Hansi Flick's journey is proof that getting fired isn't the end. It's just the beginning of your Netflix comeback story. At 60, he's already won a sextuple and a treble, revived 2 clubs and turned his critics into fangirls. All that's left? Champions League glory with Barca, or world domination, whichever comes first. The man has 7 finals wins in a row. That's not coaching, it's sorcery. Barcelona's banter eras ended not with a whimper, but with Flick yelling tactical instructions while casually winning another cup. Now the question isn't whether he's back, it's whether Europe can stop him. Hansi Flick was written off by Germany, only to turn Barcelona into a footballing flamethrower. Closing thoughts. Father Flick rides again. So what do you think? Is Hansi Flick the most underrated mastermind of modern football, or just the luckiest German since Oktoberfest was invented? Smash that like button, subscribe for more football satire, and remember, if life ever knocks you down, just pull a Flick, get up, drop a tactical masterclass, and win a treble. See you next time.